Can we circle back to this band list, or is that taboo to talk about? Because I didn't even know I was on a band list.
Just casual conversation.
We can probably catch up off air on that one.
Okay. Are we scared of them or something? Because I'm a thug. I'm mad.
No one is in immediate danger.
I'm mad that I didn't know I was on the band list.
If I end up on a list, retweeted it.
Yeah,
it's for a reason.
Yeah, shit. I got banned from Kroger's on 71st and Georgia, and I wore that as a badge of honor.
Wait, what'd you do with the Kroger?
This was some years ago, and I still go.
Down. Ooh, I'm eating brunch with my people though. The homie Dyke just cooked up a feast and we bout to eat it, bro. Fucked around and has to mix the lobster with the poutine. Daddy is rolling blue dream. Them boys got down a routine. It's Naptown culture. Cooking 7 courses. Had to pass the torch and now I'm grabbing second portion. So sit back, relax, grab a drink and a smoke. It's Harder Brunch on the way and get prepared for the jokes. Whoa.
Hey. What?
Hi, and welcome to the Harder Brunch Podcast. I'm your host, Dyke Michaels, and with me, as always, no co-host today. What? No Thaddeus J. McKee. Slappy Pappy wah wah. Unfortunately, it's just me and you, Zach.
Yeah, Slappy Pappy not here.
On the ones and twos, the wheels of steel, the sauce boss of Indianapolis, and the last woke dragon. Give it up for Zach Rohn, everybody.
Hey there.
2 very special returning champions with us in studio. 2 of the most dynamic women in Indianapolis.
Oh, well.
Heather Brogden and comedian Gwen Sunkel. Welcome to the show.
Government name. Okay. Yes. I definitely saw a co-host in that chair.
Oh, well, my dog was there for
Cody.
a second. Yeah.
He's the code host.
It was gonna. He was the original producer of the show, actually.
Oh, I remember that.
He would produce Barks and just be very loud. I went back and listened to an old episode, and I forgot how much dog barking there was as part of the program.
Toenails on the hardwood floor.
Yes, a lot of clicking, a lot of barking. I remember
tag jingling.
The first time we had Brent Terhune in studio. I asked him to pick up the dog toy or something, and Chris was like, "This is the biggest comedian you ever had on the show. You're making him pick up your dog's toys."
Yeah, on the show, like on air too.
Hey, can you? That's probably covered in drool.
Welcome to the show, where you guys are back here to talk about something very exciting.
Yes.
Which is Middle Ground Comedy Festival.
Yeah, it is.
What? Tell me all about it. What's going on?
Well, Middle Ground Comedy Festival is a comedy festival coming to Indianapolis, April 27th through 30th. The event's going to be at Black Circle Brewing. And we're going to have shows Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're going to have some shows, and we got a tent for outside, so weather, not going to be a problem. And we're bringing in some real heavy hitter comics. We've got Sam Talent headlining on Friday night.
Love Sam Talent.
Love Sammy T. Yes. You've heard him on WTF with Mark Maron, and he's got the book Running the Light, very popular.
Yeah.
And then Mandy McKelvey is kicking the festival off. We love her. Dwight Simmons will be there as well.
Never heard of him.
I think he's been a guest on this podcast.
Oh no, Dwight's great. I just went to Dayton with him for a weekend. He's wonderful.
Oh yeah,
very very exciting.
It's a good guy. Good guy. Let's see, we got Stuart Huff coming through.
Stuart Huff.
The one and only Stuart Huff, modern day
I'm a
Mark
big fan.
Twain.
I'm very excited.
I know, what a huge Stuart Huff fan. You're Huffhead for life right here.
Huffamaniac.
Yes. And then Brandy Posey closing us out on Sunday night. It's going to be incredible.
That's exciting. And those are all just amazing comics, amazing talents. Black Circle is such a cool venue with the outdoor space.
Yeah.
And they're so like friendly to I feel like that's such a big deal, like being comic friendly and getting into business with people that you want to work with,
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. They've been fantastic to work with. Is Cody okay?
The dog may be dying under the table. I'm glad we unplugged that fridge so we didn't have any loud interruptions.
Still exists. Yeah. No, they are always a delight to work with, and they have like such a professional sound setup and everything. And it's just, it is like a turnkey operation from a comedy standpoint. There's obviously a lot of logistics going in on the back end, but when we like walk in the door, they take care of everything.
It's ready to go.
Yeah.
The foundation's already there.
Yeah.
And so Gwen, you're one of the best comedians in the city, well known.
I don't think anything about that's true.
Heather, what is your role in this as a non-comic but entrepreneur? What is your role in the Middle Ground Comedy Festival?
How would we put some words on that? I don't know. I think it's just been kind of coming alongside. I really enjoy kind of the business side of things, understanding the structure. I'm new to a lot of the space, so it's been an incredible learning opportunity for me and just fun, just really fucking fun. So that's been wonderful. And then, I've got a space in Fountain Square, so just offering up some 4 walls and a whiteboard, spreadsheets and different things that we all just kind of helping to enhance the collaboration.
Yeah, there's so much important behind the scenes work that goes on. I know that like Zach and Thad and I have been working on doing all these events and gearing up bigger and better for this year. And like, I'm definitely the guy that like my natural thing is like, I could show up and tell jokes, or I could show up and make some food, or I could show up and do a podcast. But all the behind the scenes things that you don't get to see, that don't always get, the most praise, like learning all of those and what goes into it, and realizing like every time you scale something up, it just makes it that much more difficult to deal with.
Steps to the process. Yeah. Oh no, Heather's is, I feel like, being modest. She's really been invaluable to the process because, I don't know if you've ever met myself and Cam O'Connor, the other producer. Yeah. But if this was our festival, it would be like a pallet next to a bouncy castle.
Yeah, a bunch of comics working together, like herding loose cats.
Yes, exactly. So Heather really has brought like organizational and business legitimacy to what we've got going on, and like we all also just keep saying to each other like, oh my God, how much easier is this going to be next year when we've already made all the mistakes? Not all of it, but and we've kind of got some of that scaffolding in place, and we're not like getting a brand new website and stuff like that for the very first time. So.
That's what I said about the first 40 years of my life. I was like, the next 40 are going to be a breeze because I've got all the mistakes out. And I know what not to do.
Professional podcaster Dyke Michaels, laughing all the way to the bank.
Laughing all the way to the grave.
And luckily, I love chasing cats. So I think that's kind of been, it's been really fun in a lot of ways for me. It's like, with my business, we're really scaling, and, that has a different weight to it because it's that, pays my mortgage, and it's fun and I love it, but also being able to kind of like, I don't know, like have different spaces and places to like collaborate and work out some of those, it's not even like doing all the things, it's just working out kinks in a way that feels like a workout and like fun and productive versus like such a painful type of experience that business can be.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, and Dyke and I have, talked about this. It's like when something is paying your bills like that, it'd be like, I would probably hate comedy if I was relying on that solely to pay my bills. I'm very fortunate that I can do a lot of different things, to keep a roof over my head. And so comedy gets to stay fun where I'm not dependent on it for a certain outcome.
They do say if you want to suck all of the passion out of a hobby, turn it into a profession. But I think like that whole journey of like, how do you do both? How do you like, maintain fun? And then also like for me, how do I bring in more fun to that 9 to 5? Yeah. To like have a more collaborative artistic space so that we're continuing to push and innovate like for our clients and on the marketing because it's still in creative. So I think that's been kind of another like fun space that we've, I don't know, there's been like a lot of like, hey, we can do whatever we want. Like, absolutely. And we check each other. We all bring like different skill sets, and that's been kind of so like, it is like, we do get to just be like wild cats hurting each other, and this is fun.
It is.
Well, we are very excited. We're very excited for the comedy festival, and Harder Brunch will be part of the festival. We'll be doing a live podcast there on Sunday. Excited. On the last day. It's going to be our first live podcast ever. Oh. So I'm very excited. So riddle me this. Do you have to get a ticket for the whole weekend, or can you get tickets day by day, or how does that work?
So tickets are all day by day.
Okay.
And tickets for Sunday, I believe, are
We got $10 tickets.
$10 on
Sunday,
sweet.
Thursday.
You heard it here.
Yeah, so Sunday's kind of for the people. So we made real low ticket price. Everybody can come in and have a fantastic time.
Nice. Well, I highly suggest you get tickets to the entire festival.
Yes.
But definitely come and see us on Sunday.
Even just the Sunday, that's 3 Patreons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that could really help them out.
It's going to be fun. We're gonna be talking to some comics that are on the festival. We're gonna be doing a lot of fun, like live interactive stuff, and we've been just like spitballing here. I'm very excited. I think we're gonna kind of showcase some of the antics from the after brunch.
Love it. Yeah,
and kind of trot those out. So hopefully,
it is a comedy festival.
Yeah. So we thought we'd try being funny. See what that's like.
Oh, interesting.
We'll see how it goes.
Your first time.
A broken clock, random twice a day.
Yeah. I know like I'm really bragged on like all of our headliners, but the caliber of people that applied to this festival is just, I'm over the moon about it. I mean,
How many submissions do we end up getting?
like 200. And like, people who have had late night spots, people who, have been shortlisted for JFL, just people with some really impressive credits and stuff are coming to this festival, not to headline, so come see them now before they're incredibly big.
Yeah.
And we start having to pay them to come instead of them just wanting to do it out of the kindness of their hearts.
Well, and I think that this is a really cool thing for the city too. Like Indianapolis, like I feel like we've talked about it on here before, but I feel like Indianapolis gets a bad comedy rap sometimes for being like, I don't know, mainly from comedians. So I don't know if we don't
Indiana's got a lot of bad PR issues.
Yeah. So we're and the thing that I like about both of you is that you're both collaborative types of artists, and you want to bring up cool stuff in the city. So I just think it's great for Indianapolis, and I'm very excited to be a part of it. I'm very excited to help promote it. I'm very excited to watch peripherally of the growing of it and watching how, taking notes. I'll let you guys make mistakes and then I'll try to do something to.
We're making
no one will ever know that shit's internal. We'll never see the light of day. No.
But so what would you say? Because you're a comedian who's done some festivals.
Yeah.
Lots. Would you say lots of festivals?
I wouldn't say lots. I've done some festivals.
Some festivals.
Yes.
What would you say that you want the takeaway to be to set yourself apart from other comedy festivals that someone may have gone to before?
Interesting. I want people to walk away from this festival being like, that was so much fun. Because to me, that's like what comedy festivals are about and what they're for, is because a lot of times we only meet people, for one night, or we have parasocial relationships with people like other comics on the internet, but then you get to meet them in person and you're like, oh my God, where have you been all my life? That kind of thing. Like that's just how the nature of our art form is, that like the most comics you're going to have in a room at one time is like 6. So this is an opportunity to bring, 50 in together, to hang out. And, we're doing some fun activities. We're going to go on a tour of the Indiana Medical History Museum, which if you've never been, is the coolest museum in town. They have like brains in jars and conjoined twin skeletons and like
stuff like you find in Zach's closet.
Exactly. Yeah. So we're going to and that's such a cool bonding activity. Last year I did the Before You Die Festival, and we went to like their animal rescue nature park. And so you get to see like grizzly bears and
so on top of planning this entire festival for the public, you have to plan like these side quests for the comics to keep them entertained while they're here.
You don't have to, but it's just something that
But you are doing that. Yeah. That's awesome.
I'd say hospitality. Like I think that's something that's also like, I think the community build, of the comics and creating that like fun space for it to be fun and build relationships. But I think another thing, there's been a lot of intentionality is the hospitality. Like
Yes. Yeah.
helping people out on,
Making
housing
sure-
and just really being able to create a nice fluffy space for just a fun freaking weekend.
Yeah.
So,
that
yeah.
has been very important.
Well, and you know how it feels like on the other side of it too. Like,
Yes.
like in comedy, we've walked into rooms where they make you feel like royalty.
Yes.
And we've walked into rooms where you feel like a burden. You
Yes,
know?
yeah. Where you're like, are you here to fix the dryer? Like, no, I'm here to do my art.
But also, what do you need done on the dryer?
yeah. Does that pay extra?
What's your budget on that? Oh, it's higher than the comedy budget. Oh,
Yeah.
Who books that dryer gig?
Yeah, Heather.
add-on services.
Heather is learning how grossly underpaid comedians are.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that is like one of my, like, I always say I'm like a big mouth bash. I just, like, artist pay and advocacy is something I'm like, oh, I can get obnoxious about real fast because it just get excited and like, give us more money.
Yeah.
People with money aren't doing a very good job with it. Give it with people with taste. Let's try to do something.
And really and truly, like, the investment that the arts community brings to the city of Indianapolis, and the amount of like tourism and just that vibe, that hospitality,
creating
culture and spaces that the arts community brings, that it's like, oh well, because it's presented to the public for free, like you should do it for free, kind of. I don't know, is how I feel about public art sometimes. But so I'm always excited to work with somebody who's like, artists should get paid for what they do appropriately.
I also think that like going back to buying into these comics, like, right before they blow up. I feel like we have a very adventurous audience. I think if you like us, you like adventurous food, you like taking a risk, seeing what happens, you like surprises. And if you're even like a passive comedy fan, I highly suggest checking this festival out, and festivals in general, but especially this one, because there's going to be so many different types of comedians that you get exposed to.
Yeah.
That there's really something for everyone.
Absolutely.
There's going to be all different kinds of people from different backgrounds, different takes, different stuff. You're like, there's going to be something there that you're really going to latch onto, that you're going to love, and I think that. If more people did that, part of my goal is like to push people into doing that. Like, obviously if there's a comic you love, go see them, go support them, but like support local and take a chance. I think you will be pleasantly surprised with the level of comedy of some of these people that you may or may not know their names.
Right. No, you're 100% right. And they like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
Gwen is in a full panic.
I think it's just that like all the thoughts bottlenecked. I felt like there were maybe so many, and then
So
they were
many
just
good
like
thoughts.
fighting, and they just all looked together and were like, you know what, we're just not.
Yeah.
Just not coming out
They
right
went back
now.
down and sat on the couch and like, we're just gonna chill for a minute.
I remember where I was
Okay.
going with this. We were very intentional about that in kind of selecting the lineup, is we wanted stuff that was really different.
Yeah, all different kinds of flannels.
Yes, so many different kinds of flannels. We in the kind of selection and judging process, one of the things that we kind of asked was, is this bringing something new or different to the Indianapolis stage, like
Nice.
something we've never seen before?
Yeah.
That was like one of the criteria for how we selected who's on the festival. So
I think it's great. I'm so excited. I think sometimes for us being comedians, like, we know a lot more comedians than like the average person or whatever.
Sure.
And so I think you kind of forget about that trepidation that sometimes, how do you feel about it, Zach? You're like a regular person, kind of. Like, how do you,
Zach, got some regulars over here.
How do I feel about like?
do you like seeing like checking out comics you've never seen before, or?
Yeah, no, I really enjoy I enjoy seeing like I don't know, I get to see all of you guys kind of interact and everything. It's really fun to see a bunch of people that are doing the same thing when that's not the thing I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because like you kind of like get to see from the outside. But I mean, I also enjoy going to open mics. I like to see people working on something. Like, I think that's fun. Like, even if it goes badly or whatever.
So you're a masochist. That's what you're like.
Yeah, I'm probably not a good sample for this because I enjoy the things you're not supposed to enjoy.
No, some people are really into that process, and like most of them are stand-up comedians. But
no, but there's also like I would say I'm that. Like I really like I partake in a lot of different. I'm a big consumer. This is why I demand money for artists, because I love to spend it, and mostly on other art and shopping and, sequin jackets and all the other things I don't need. But I love like Fringe Festival. I have a couple though. So Fringe Festival, that piece open mic. I don't know if you guys have ever been that. That's a really great one. And like, I feel like there is a nice vibe on some of that. What's the process and where you're getting in different stages of career. And like, I'm a process person. Like, I think that like, in that there's a lot more of the like room emotions because it's not so producer constructed. Maybe then there's more room to like see bravery or someone taking putting themselves out there, different things that can like tonally change. Like speaking like going to that piece open mic and like how then the crowd can interact with that. And like, and that's always been really positive, and just consuming also live experiences. Like I miss that a lot during the pandemic. Like I'm a theater girl. I love theater. I missed my theater a lot during that time, but like theater and comedy and music and just that kind of like, I don't know, for me, anything that's kind of a live art, it's never a bad, like, and I don't even have to know it. Like I pop into the Jazz Kitchen, we'll go to Chatterbox, just a lot of things I'm like, I might not know. And I might not always be like, even if in the mood of like, oh, I love this or that, but just being in the room. Like there's something to like a human connection and a human energy of being in a room. And then, maybe a little masochism when you watch someone step in front of the mic and go, ooh, what's this going to be like? But yeah.
Zach, can you pause it real quick?
Yeah.
I gotta pee. I'm gonna piss my pants.
Come along, friend. We've got a long journey through the Middle West to return to the ring.
A ring? What ring?
The Dark Ring.
It's not a ring, it's a circle. Black Circle. And there we will complete our quest at Middle Ground Comedy Festival.
It's dangerous to go alone. I shall bring my wit.
And you'll have my antics.
It will be precious.
Join the epic journey to Middle Ground Comedy Festival, a comedy fest in the middle of the Midwest, April 27th through 30th at Black Circle Music Bar in Indianapolis, with headliners Dwight Simmons, Mandy McKelvey, Stuart Huff, Brandy Posey, and Sam Talent, and musical guests Sirius Black and Lisa Frank and the Trapper Keepers. Get tickets at eventbrite.com before they're gone like second breakfast.
It will be precious.
This week on the After Brunch Podcast.
Resting snitch face.
You look like a tattletale.
Yeah, like, he's gonna tell.
A little bit.
No, that's Jason. That's
well,
Jason Fox definitely does have.
He has resting FBI face.
FBI face.
Yeah.
Narc Wahlberg. I can't.
Whoa! Dark Wahlberg.
That's his vibe.
I still feel like Jason Fox is deep cover for the comedy scene. Like he's trying to figure out like who's selling drugs and who's trafficking.
What if he's like Lorne
money.
Michaels' long lost son and he's actually like deeply embedded? Yes.
Join us at patreon.com/Harder Brunch.
And we're back. I switched spots because we were joined by comedian Asia Chardonay. Welcome to the program.
Hey.
What's up?
Everything but these titties, girl. Everything but these titties.
I know all about that.
Period.
And Asia, we are talking to Heather and Gwen about Middle Ground Comedy Festival that's going on here at the end of the month.
Okay, what's tea? Tell me about it. Give me
It's going to be great. It's April 27th through the 30th at Black Circle Brewing.
Period.
Yeah, get those tickets on Eventbrite.
Get them, y'all.
Sponsored by Porch Marketing and Half Liter Barbecue and Beer Hall. We're very excited.
Nice.
Come on, plug them in.
Yeah. It's all happening. Get out here.
I'm going to crack that. I should have did that before we.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No. Yeah. Or are you opening an Upland beer?
No, a LaCroix, a LaCroix, a LaCroix, whatever you want to call it.
I was just trying to I'll plug your sponsor.
Yeah. Well, hey, we appreciate it. Gwen, you are enjoying the Champagne Velvet from Upland Brewery.
It is the Champagne Velvet of beers. It's I love this one. It's it's a good drinking beer.
Champagne in the can.
It's a beer, but it's called Champagne Velvet because it goes down smooth.
Oh, okay.
It's real
Gotcha.
nice. It's real nice.
And this is old recipe, 1902. The brewery bought this recipe from the original brewer.
That beer's been sitting around since 1902.
I was just thinking 1902. We don't want to go back that far.
You're not wrong.
1902.
That's why there's no black people time travelers. The furthest we go back in time is like 1998. No,
Hot tub time machine. That's about it.
Good right here.
Period.
That's fair.
So Asia, you're a road dog. You're
I guess.
Well, are you a road dog, or do you just plant yourself in? Because you drive everywhere, and you live in a van.
Yes,
but you're
a vantion.
Thank you. But you are actually planted in LA. You're not necessarily going all around the country.
No. So when I first moved in 2019, that was the plan to like hit up different spots, but like LA kind of be the destination for a little while. I was not expecting to be there almost 4 years at all, but my vantion broke down and I got stuck there. And then we had the pandemic and things were kind of like building up. Like I had a momentum going right when I first got there, and then it got shut down. I had only been there like 8 months. Got shut down, and I didn't want to punk out. I wanted to thug it out, give it a chance.
The full scope.
Because I could have come back home, but I didn't want to do that. So I thugged it out.
And you didn't know how long it was going to be, too. It was like
exactly.
Maybe 6 weeks.
Nobody knew.
Yeah.
Like LA was shut down. Like there was, you know how like people, rag on Indianapolis and we don't have shit to do. We had more things to do in Indianapolis than in LA.
I'm sure.
My grandma was still going to Walmart.
The mask didn't get enforced until July of 2020, and then it wasn't even like enforced here.
Right.
March in 2020, they was threatening to like give you tickets and lock you up in LA. Like it was serious. But I thugged it out, and then I was like, I'm gonna just give it a fair chance. And I did get the vantion fixed, and I drove back home in 21, and I like hit up different spots, like drove through down to San Diego, stayed a few days, drove to Phoenix, stayed a few days, hit up different mics, so forth and so on. So I'm gonna do something similar to that this year, because I'm making my grand exit from LA in July.
Okay.
Because July marks my 4 year.
Nice.
So July 31st is when I plan to be out of Los Angeles, period.
Where are you going?
Atlanta is going to be the next destination.
Yes. I love Atlanta.
Yes.
I feel like Atlanta's more your vibe too.
I feel like it is as well. And we just going to see like, Atlanta is it checks more boxes than LA for me. I was never a fan of LA, but I had a friend out there and, kind of going through some things. I'm trying to be a good friend and shit. So I went to, can I cuss?
Yeah. Okay. It's too late now.
Okay. I done said 2 motherfuckers and a shit. And, like, Ken, is it okay? Okay. So I was just trying to be a good friend. So that's why I kind of, made a big rush to get to LA, because I had intentions on like taking like 2 or 3 months just to get to LA. I got there in like 5 days. So it changed my entire plan. But this time I'm sticking to it. So I'm leaving LA in July, but I don't have any plans to get to Atlanta until like October.
Okay.
Yeah. When it's cooler.
Yeah.
That's very smart.
Yes.
Take a nice little break. Maybe a vacation.
Dyke, first of all, everything I do is big. So nothing little. Everything I do is big. So yes, I will be doing a big trip, big road, whatever. I wanted to like be intentional this time, like not just be so spontaneous and just move and get up. So I'm trying to like plan different things and hopefully have some shows aligned.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are very funny on social media. I gotta tell you, I love your van tours and you did some really fun.
Your WAP cover.
Very WAP cover.
Yeah.
Where can people find and check you out on social media? Take a peek at some of that stuff.
Well, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Everything is All This Body, ALLDISBODY. All This Body, everything. Yeah, go ahead and write that down, Zach. Get that in there. If you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. Instagram, All This Body. Facebook, you can find me under All This Body as well, but it's Asia Chardonay. I'm on Twitter, but I'm not on Twitter. But that's All This Body.
Yeah.
Everything is All This Body. ALLDISBODY. You know, Ebonics. So it's a D.
Is Asia, is that a stage name or is that your real name?
Okay, that is such a loaded question. I got into an argument with a guy.
He called me by my full government name to start out this podcast.
No, crazy. It was semantics because he said, "What's your stage name?" Asia Chardonay is my stage name because that's what I'm known for on stage. However, it is my legal first and middle name. Like my mother and father named me Asia Chardonay.
Okay.
And I have my last name, and so I just use it as a stage name. But technically speaking,
it's great.
Thank you.
I remember the first time I saw it. How do I put this? First time I saw it there was a list of people that had gotten in trouble for commenting on a social media post from a particular club. And so me and you were both on the same band list, and I was looking through. Somehow I ended up twice on it. Like my name was on there at the beginning, and then at the end,
I gotta put on the list.
And I was like, Asia,
didn't even know.
I was like, I didn't know you at the time. I was like, Asia Chardonnay. I was like, that's not even a real name. That's obviously someone's fake name.
It's a cool name now that I'm in my 30s, but it's a shitty name when I was 6. You know what I'm saying? It's a shitty name when you're 6.
Try doing high school with the name Dyke. See how that goes.
So is Dyke your real name? Like your first?
So my birth name was Michael Dyke.
Shut up.
And I had it legally changed to Dyke Michaels.
That flows better.
Yeah, it does, right? It does. Yeah. Sounds better.
And people can't say Mike Dyke.
Yeah, right. Mike and Dyke. I know you. I know that. Fuck yeah.
There was a kid in my high school, and his full name when it was like graduation was Jason Scott Teets.
So Jason got teeth.
So Jason, but then Jason Scott.
I knew a girl. I think she changed her name, but her name was is either Dusty Householder or Rusty Householder. Either Dusty or Rusty, one of the Usties, but definitely. Yeah.
I had a friend in high school. His name still is Tracy Swallows. Is his name.
Damn. Wow.
So we'd always say that we were going to like start a law firm together, and like, I'm not going to say the joke out loud, but
Swallows Dyke. Dyke Swallows.
Well, we also had a friend with the last name Cox.
Oh
so,
wow.
We
Dyke
just
Swallows.
We just string them all together. There.
And what were y'all gonna offer at this?
Nothing.
First Amendment law. Free speech cases only.
Can we circle back to this ban list, or is that taboo to talk about? Because I didn't even know I was on a ban list.
You just get casual conversation.
We can probably catch up off air on that.
Okay. Are we scared of them or something? No. Because I'm a thug. No one is in immediate danger. I'm mad that I didn't know I was on the ban list.
If I end up on a list,
retweeted it.
Yeah, it's for a reason.
Yeah, shit. I got banned from Kroger's on 71st and Georgetown. I wore that as a badge of honor. Shit.
Wait, what'd you do with the Kroger?
This was some years ago, and I still go into this Kroger because you can't ban me, man. I can walk up in this bitch. If I can still walk in here, then I'm not banned.
Yeah.
So I had a car and it had a bad transmission, and so my reverse used to go out, and so instead of like pulling into a parking spot, it was literally like the Medea movie. It really was. Because instead of like pulling into the parking spot, I like to back into the parking spot so it wouldn't be so hard to back out because of the reverse was going out. I was trying to back in, and you know, my reverse is acting a little wonky. This lady pulled right into my parking spot. I lost my shit because you knew I was trying to get into this parking spot, and she parked in casually. Oh, I went off. She called the police. The manager came out, and the police and the manager told me if I come back, it would be trespassing, and I would go to jail. I lived on Georgetown Road at the time. You think I'm gonna go to any other Kroger? I'm coming into this Kroger. Like I said, as long as I got 2 legs, 2 feet, and I can still walk up in here, I'm walking up in here. Yeah. So I got banned from Kroger on 71st in Georgetown. This is a long time ago. So
now, to someone that lives in a mansion, are you typically prone to road rage, or was that an isolated incident?
Do Crips walk? Yeah, I'm prone to road rage, man. What? Oh my gosh! And like, I be talking, like my old lady, she tells me like, "Hey, you gotta calm down." My mama tells me I gotta calm down because my road rage is off the chain, and it's like I'm in therapy, and I even talked to my therapist about it because I'm trying to do a better job of like controlling it before it gets too far. Because I'm always like, oh dang, I felt bad about that. It was one day, and this was in LA. This was probably just like 6 months ago. I burned a half a tank of gas, drove 30 miles outside of the way that I needed to go to follow this man because
he needed to be told.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. He started it though. See, I am the reaction, never the proaction. You know what I'm saying? I am reactive for sure. And he swerved intentionally to try to hit me. Oh, why you do that? You poked the bear. You can't do that. And so, yeah, I did burn about a half a tank of gas.
Did you catch up with him?
Oh, yes. Oh, we played this whole game.
What happened?
Oh, I tried to brake check him. I probably shouldn't be saying this on. Yeah, I probably should not be saying all of this. It got to the point, he was like, what do you want from me? Like, you started this.
Like, you came into my house.
Right.
My mansion.
Don't start this and then get it out. Hell no. You can't take the heat. Don't step in the kitchen.
This is where I live. You brought that into my home.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh! Well, Asia, this is actually a brunch podcast.
Okay, brunch.
And typically, what we do in normal circumstances is Zach and I cook a big brunch for the guests. So we all eat together, then we come down here and talk about it. But Thad and I were both out of town doing stand up this week. I was in Dayton, he was in Louisville. So when that happens, we do an away game and we go check out a brunch restaurant.
Oh, okay.
We all eat together, and we checked out a new place today. It was fantastic. It was super fun. Tupelo Honey.
Tupelo Honey.
It's a new restaurant downtown, right in the heart of downtown, and it's first week. It was the first weekend they were open.
Yeah, they said Tuesday is their actual opening. Yeah.
Oh, wow. How was it?
It was really good. It was really good. There was a cool atmosphere. It's very light and bright.
I matched. I basically matched. It was very greenery, yellow, bright. Happy.
You got to coordinate.
Heather's breakfast colored.
And here for the outfits.
I think this started like in Nashville. I don't know. They said they had multiple locations.
They said like 10 locations.
Yeah.
At least that guy had opened 10.
Oh, yeah.
We kind of asked him about how it's been going this time. He said one of the smoothest openings.
The staff was so fantastic. I feel like every time I turned around, somebody was there refilling something, asking me how we were doing. Like it was a great because like let's be honest, after COVID, there was a service dip. There
still is a lot because I get it. I get it. People call bullshit. I'm like, I'm done.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Which is fair, but it's also like, oh, I love hospitality.
Yeah,
I love good hospitality. Make me feel warm and cozy.
I remember, and this is a total derailment, but I remember I went out with comedian Zane Zadie when I was down in Atlanta.
Oh, okay.
And we went to a brunch place that was a little pricey. I will say this, it was more pricey than Zane felt comfortable with.
Okay.
And we ordered some small plates to eat, and like I think I asked for like I was like, oh, do you guys have like any like cold brew coffee? And you would have thought I asked for a moon rock or something. Like, not only did they not have it, they never even heard of it. Like this lady was just like, she was like, we have coffee. I could put some ice cubes in it. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh no.
And then there was these two women that got some wine glasses and they had like water spots all over them.
Oh no.
And they were just like, oh, excuse me, could we maybe get some clean water glasses?
Right.
And it was a whole thing. But anyway, no problems like that.
None whatsoever.
The opposite.
Why you even brought that up?
So now that we've said that, I'm going to tell you that our experience was nothing like that.
So I just wanted to map out what a bad experience is like, so I could tell you what the exact opposite of a wonderful experience I had today. What a refreshing experience I had at Tupelo Honey. Heather, what'd you have for breakfast?
I had the chicken and waffles.
Okay.
And I also had a bee's knees kind of gin drink that 100% matched my t-shirt.
Oh, yeah.
I'm here for the magic Instagram moment. No, but yeah, it was really, really good. I was like jam-packed with flavor, and it wasn't as heavy as I thought. Like I still don't feel like I wasn't that like oh, I feel amazing, but I want to like coma it out now because it was really flavorful and the chicken had like a nice crunch and the waffle was like sweet, but also like light and fluffy.
Yeah.
And so it was just really yummy.
Okay. Is this one of y'all cousins' restaurant that y'all promoting? Because y'all doing a hell of a job.
It was just good.
Okay.
Really good.
What'd you get, Gwen?
I had the Debris Eggs Benedict. So Debris is that roast beef, like the little chip stuff that gets left behind after they slice roast beef. And it's a kind of New Orleans thing. And they usually make like a po' boy out of it or something. But this was on like an Eggs Benedict and it was outstanding. Had like a little green tomato relish. So
okay.
Good. Yeah.
Sauce Boss, how about you?
I got the Freedom Fried chicken hollandaise. It was like a biscuit with the chicken and then the poached egg. I'm not sure what made it Freedom Fried. Or Freedom Fresh, that's what it was. Yeah. It was Freedom something.
It was Forever Free.
Forever Free.
All of the meat,
You're
all
right.
the chicken was listed as Forever Free, and I'm wondering if this is a brand name.
Yeah. But no, it was very good. It was very good. And then we had the tomatoes, the fried green tomatoes.
Oh yeah, those were good. A
lot of fried green tomatoes.
Southern good. Yes.
I had the scrimp and grits. And
So good.
you know, I have discerning taste when it comes to shrimp and grits, and I thought they really knocked it out.
They did.
I went, and I'll talk about another place that we went to. We went to another place in Dayton that will not be named, and Dwight Simmons got the shrimp and grits. A little too much sauce. There's a perfect sauce to grits ratio if you're doing shrimp and grits that you can over sauce. That was not a problem today. It was the perfect amount of sauce.
I like my grits to kind of stand up a little bit. I don't like them to be like real soupy. You know,
Yeah. But what? What's up with not name dropping?
What do you mean?
We don't name drop. Okay.
Oh,
we're just keeping it
I just like to put the positive stuff out there.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I like to promote the things that I like and not talk about the things I don't like.
Ooh, you know
But
what?
if you want to bag on someone, you go ahead.
Poetic. That's really, see, that's why I'm in therapy. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning stuff like that because I'm like, no, I want to talk about everybody.
We just talk about it when the mics are not.
Exactly. Or, you know what I'm saying? What rhymes with, it was a comedian who just made a status, on Facebook about he worked with a particular comedian and he didn't say the name. And I was like, I want to know who it is.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, say what their names rhyme with. Was it PK Merklin? You know what I'm saying? Like, I need to know, what does the name rhyme with? Yeah, because I be wanting to know. But
Mewy PJ.
when you're out now, when you've been out in LA, excuse me, what has been either your favorite show, the best favorite comic that you got to work with, or just the best experience that you've had comedy wise out there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, one of the best experiences performing at Chocolate Sundays, because Chocolate Sundays is a very popping show in LA at the Laugh Factory. So getting to do my first impression spot there. And then, of course, getting called back, for the graduation spot. So that was dope because the crowd was nice. That crowd was loose. I did my thing, and you don't get a lot of time during the first impression spot, so you really got to make it count. And that was just last month before last in February, so I really enjoyed that. I work with a lot of the local people there, so I haven't besides doing shows. I performed at Crack 'em Ups. That's another popping spot at the Comedy Store. I couldn't remember who was all on the lineup.
What was that like for you to actually work at the Comedy Store? How'd that feel?
Oh, it was great. It was great because Crack 'em Up Thursdays, they have a very big audience as well. Every single Thursday is popping. And Thursdays can be hit and miss, never a miss. At least every time that I've gone, it's never been a miss. So I enjoy Crack 'em Ups. And actually how I said PK Merklin, I performed with him on the show at the Laugh Factory. He was on the lineup as well. So that was dope. And I will honestly say the best experience though, just being in LA, is the amount of support that I get. Because a lot of the comedians, and I love Indianapolis. I do. Like, I'm born and raised here. So, like, this is literally all I know outside of the 4 years that I've been in LA. And one thing that I know about Indianapolis, like, you have to be somebody for, like, to get the true support. Like, you either, if you're not already somebody, people have to think you're going to be somebody to get, like, that type of bandwagon type of support. You know what I'm saying? We're in LA. If you just funny, people want to be your friend because you're funny. You know what I'm saying? People want to be around you because you're funny. Because everybody and their mama's doing comedy in LA. Everybody wants to be some form of entertainment in LA. Yeah. But there's a lot of shitty people. You know, there's a lot of people who are not good at it, or at least not good yet. And so people want to be around you and they appreciate it when you're actually funny. So, like, I can tell a difference in the support in LA than the support in Indianapolis. I will say LA has increased my support for Indianapolis because people think, you know, they hear Hollywood, they hear LA. She's
out there doing it.
Right. And they not even knowing what's really going on in LA. And I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to let you know all the ins and outs, what you should do, what you shouldn't do.
You're like, they just let anyone move there.
Like, exactly. Everybody, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But that's what I would say. The biggest experience that I've gotten out is like the support in LA. And that's what I love the most. Like, I've met a lot of people because I host a weekly open mic there, and it gives me an opportunity to just meet a lot of different comedians, good, bad, some people you can see though, like this person's gonna kill if they just keep coming, coming. Then you got the people who like, okay, I see you wanted to try comedy, and that's cool, you know. Yeah. But like
bucket list thing or
exactly. New Year's resolution type of deal. Yeah.
See, and it doesn't bother me when people do that. Like, I feel like some comics get like offended when somebody wants to do that, and I'm just like,
space for everybody.
Right.
What would you give from a piece of advice to like Indianapolis community? How could we be more supportive, like LA style? Do you know what I mean? Like, if there was like things you've learned, because everything costs in LA. So, like, just simple stuff like sharing a post, liking a post, commenting on a post. Like, that's all free stuff. Like, that's the easiest way to support. You know what I'm saying? And it's easy to get caught into the whole, I only support because, you know, and I've fallen victim to that where, like, I only share people's stuff who I know who have supported me, or, you know what I'm saying, it's been reciprocated. Yeah. And I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to be better. Yeah. Exactly. Oh yeah, therapy is making me soft. It's really gotta get mooey gooey to get it all out.
Yeah, it's really making me soft. Like, I actually missed therapy for this today. So if I backslide, it's because
this is literally the opposite of therapy.
this would be because of y'all. But I would say just something as simple as that, like sharing a post, like that, or like I'm really on this because like a couple of years ago I wanted to focus on like increasing my TikTok and getting up there with followers on TikTok because that was so big. This year I'm focusing on YouTube. Like, I want to get my YouTube channel up and subscribing. Like, it's free. All these other platforms that charge for subscriptions, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Instagram, Facebook, and Patreon, all these other are paywall subscription based platforms. YouTube is free. You know what I'm saying? If you subscribe to my channel and never watch a video, at least I got the subscription. You know what I'm saying? Like, stuff like that, minor stuff like that. Now, I will say, if somebody posts something like that and 2 seconds to go to your page and subscribe, I'll subscribe. I might not ever watch a video again, but I'll subscribe. If it comes on my on my channel, like on the homepage of my channel, of course I'll give it a click. Sometimes I watch people's stuff, just let it play. Like, I didn't even listen to it, but I let it play.
I'll give you that data. I'll give you that data through the end.
Exactly.
There was no fall off in that first 15 seconds. Exactly. Your advertisers can get 2 ads in this video because I watched it till the end.
Till the end.
I didn't pay attention, but I watched it to the end.
Hopefully you didn't say anything crazy that I would regret, you know, but absolutely.
I wouldn't know if you did.
Exactly.
You're hearting like a white supremacist rant. That's great. Keep doing you, baby. Keep doing you.
Exactly.
No, because the data, I mean, that's kind of the PR, right? And that's like a lot of this community does value that, like, how many viewers do you have?
Yes.
How many like that? And that we can easily bolster ourselves like that, and then start getting some more attention on the ways that catch attention here.
Exactly. Period. That's
so
exactly
who
it.
follows you on Instagram?
Yes. So if y'all haven't followed me, again, it's ALLDISBODY.
She practiced what she preached.
Exactly.
I like it.
You don't even have to watch it. You just have to subscribe.
Please. Half the shit that I post is crazy.
Give it a like anyway.
Yeah,
You
please.
should watch it. It's really funny.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I had somebody tell me recently, I did a show in Santa Barbara, and the guy who was on the show with me needed a ride. So he, rode in the Vantion with me to Santa Barbara. And he was like, you're a lot like your social media. And I took that as a compliment.
Yeah, brand is authentic.
Exactly.
You should be like, well, I play her on the social media.
It's kind of a method acting situation.
Exactly.
They really get into her mind and vibe.
Exactly. I took it as a compliment because I'm like, you can't. Because, a lot of people fake the funk on social media. Not me. And when I do make it, I'm not gatekeeping shit. I'm spilling the tea. I'm telling all the secrets. I'm telling everything because I hate that it took, it takes so much to work hard to get to a certain thing. And it's like, you could have told me how to do this a decade ago. I could have been made it if you wouldn't. I'm not.
It's almost okay. Like, it's okay to leave the door open for the person behind you.
Yeah.
Instead of being like,
What is that? She's like, step number one after I made it, masterclass.
I'm
telling everyone.
And the masterclass gonna be on YouTube. Like I'm gonna get free game. It's free game.
We so I want to ask you a question because I actually want to ask both of you a question because it's comedy related. But so I just did a weekend in Dayton and it was great. Everything was wonderful. But I can only remember the criticisms. I can never remember the compliments. So like in between the two shows, there was this older lady who I thought maybe had a mobility issue. I wasn't quite sure if she was drunk or possibly disabled. So I was just kind of letting her, but she kept getting closer and closer to me until she was like in my bubble, she was in my, and I was like, kind of looked up at her like, are we all right? What's going on here? And she was like, I'm having some trouble walking. I was like, okay. And then she put her hand on me to steady herself. And I was like, is she going to fall? Like, what's, so I was like, hey, be careful. And she kind of like walked down the merch table a little bit. And then she looks back at me and she goes, you really want to be a stand-up?
Damn.
And then asked me how long I was doing it for. Then she goes, well, keep at it. Boy, what's the wildest thing someone said to you after a show?
Well, when I first started doing comedy, so I did my first open mic in 2011, and I had no material. I just riffed, and like that's kind of my lane. I'm more of a riffer type of comedian, as opposed to a writer. And I had riffed, and like a lot of my material is about being plus size because I've been plus size my whole life. So she was like, "You don't have to do jokes about being big," and that had hit me a little bit because I didn't like. I had only watched that tape, like I had recorded it, and I had only watched it once, and I could see where she was saying like most of the set, but again, I had no material, so I'm only going off of what I know I can talk about outside of the different things that had happened in the room.
It was probably only like 5 minutes, right?
Yeah. Exactly. And that stayed with me, and I've had 2 people in my whole career mention something like that. So like now I try to make sure that I keep a variety of things, like talk about different things, but I'm forever going to talk about, I'm all this body. Like I'm going to forever talk about being plus size because I've literally been plus size my entire life. And other comedians do it. You got short comedians who talk about being short. You got mixed comedians talk about being mixed. You got,
Sounds terrible.
I mean, it just happens, because you talk about what you know. You talk about your experiences. Yeah. So like, unless you're like a prop comedy type of comedian and you just do different, tricks or whatever, like you're going to talk about what's
real and authentic.
For you. Exactly. Yeah. So that's probably the craziest thing. I mean, my mom thinks I cuss too much, but fuck that.
Everyone's cuss too much.
What about you, Gwen? Have any men given you any pointers in comedy?
No, because I look like I would punch them.
Okay.
I've had some people comment on that too, and I think it's like because they're uncomfortable with fatness,
right?
And it's like I love my body,
right?
Like, why would I want there to be less of it? Yeah. No, but I did have a lady come up to me after a show, and she was like, "Hey, I got a tip for you." And she shows me a picture of her husband's dick.
Oh, wow.
What?
Okay.
Yeah.
She was trying to make y'all a unicorn. She wanted you to be a unicorn.
I guess. I don't.
Sure.
She wasn't. He wasn't even there.
Oh, she.
How was the dick?
Honestly, 10 out of 10. No notes. Okay. But that's not the point. Like I was selling merch after the show, and I thought, she's gonna come up and either give me like a tag for one of my jokes, or even better, money.
Yeah.
Like you do when you say you're going to give someone a tip,
right?
But instead showed me
a tip.
Yeah,
probably wasn't even her husband. It's probably just a dick off the internet she loves to look at.
Her friend was there with her, and she's like, "It's really his dick." He sends her pictures all the time, and she shows them to me too. Like this.
Oh my god!
There's some sort of secret society of.
They were just like, we love you. We want to indoctrinate you into our secret society of looking at our friend's husband's dick.
This penis.
Yeah, there's going to be a third for sure.
I kind of went through a bit of the ringer on some of it with the wedding business.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What did they have to say to you?
Oh, man. There was some. Well, I found that it was, it took me a minute to realize there was kind of a bait and switch of emotional pull. For the first couple, like some of them, they would like give this big display of an email because they wanted some changes. And like they found like maybe 1 or 2 mistakes that I had made or something. And then it was like oh my God, do you even care about your art and craftsmanship? This is my daughter's wedding and we can't redo this ever. Man. And, you know, are you even a caring human being?
Ooh,
yeah, I got some of those. And then I will have to say, the first couple of times I was like 25 and I'm like, you know, like go into that moment. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I will do like whatever it takes. And then basically the email back was like, Kate thinks it'd be fantastic. And I was like, oh, you bitch. Yeah. It kind of was a good learning, like later down the road, I'm like, I see how this game is played. Well, I will be prepared next time. And I really learned how to manage. That was the year of managing expectations.
Oh, okay.
I used to cater for weddings, and I currently still work at a wedding venue as a bartender.
Which one?
We don't have to say the name.
You don't say names, Heather.
Rhymes.
My bad.
We only say good things about businesses.
All right.
No, there's this thing of just like the tension that goes into like behind the scenes of weddings before. I can only imagine. I've only catered like 4 or 5 weddings that I never want to do it again.
I shot about 200. We were in teams.
Wow.
We were like a lot of the Scottish Rite, a lot of the like, I did have kind of a sweet spot where like our flavor, we were like Unique Heart Productions. Our specialty is capturing the uniqueness of you. And so that did really keep out some of the like real psycho bitches that were like, no, I don't want to show the reality of me. Yes, our reality is. So like I was pretty lucky that I actually had like a lot of real good folks. But the first couple starting years, like, you know, especially when you're in that zone of part of the price is I'm learning. That can attract people who like can see a good value or who want to exploit that.
Yeah.
And so like they're definitely, I had one of my first like corporate, like I had family members, they like sat me down and were like, you don't know anything about marketing. These are terrible. Like I got to the point where I said, if you don't actually offer me up something productive, I'm going to walk away. Like I'm going to leave this table. Like this is a little ridiculous. Like, so I think it could kind of attract sometimes that both or dick pics.
It kind of goes back to what we were talking about in the first half about artist pay too, about how we kind of get put through the ringer.
Just the whole culture of it. Yeah.
LA is LA humbled me. Oh my God.
Because you have to pay to be on open mics in LA,
open
right?
mics you pay $5 5 minutes. They'll give you a deal $8 10 minutes. But yes, there are a handful of open mics, and there are actually some really good ones that don't charge, but they're like later in the evening, like really late midnight and so forth. forth. But like everything is charged in LA. Like everything costs. And then as far as with like getting on gigs, if you do get paid, a lot of it is lunch money. You know, and gas money. Not even gas money in LA because gas is high. So like it's really like lunch money. Like you said, somebody mentioned Chipotle. I read a status on.
Nobody mentioned Chipotle.
Nobody mentioned
it's
Chipotle.
obviously in the back of your head
it's
for a
clear
reason.
From the back, the front. I'm looking at it right now. Everything charges in LA, and until you get to like a certain point where like I've had shows in LA where I got paid more than your standard $25, $40 and stuff like that, but they're hard to come by, and they're
far between.
And they're generally like private stuff. You know, it's not like
not something that you can count on like once a month or
exactly. So it's tough, and like I said, LA humbled me because when a comedian had told me, "Oh, you're not gonna get paid in LA," and I'm like, "You not gonna get paid in LA? Watch this." And watch that I didn't get paid like that in LA, and just, but just trusting the process because it did increase my grind. Like I get out here and grind, but I think about it all the time. Like I'm still glad that I started in Indianapolis because I know I can get paid. Because if you start in LA, you'll have this mindset that I won't get paid or that I should be expected or appreciative of something so less when what you really bring is value. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
And so I feel like I've gotten to a sweet spot now where I can comfortably ask certain rooms for certain, you know, what the budget is, what the money is, because also some of the shows, and it's easy to gauge, you know, just as a comedian, if you produce shows that, oh, they're not making any money. So I know I'm not going to get paid, or this is a type of event like this. This is a fundraiser event. I'm not going to ask for money at something like that, or where I know, like I did a show for like dogs or something like that, and all the money was being sent to the dog shelter or whatever. Like I'm not going to ask for money from that, but if you are charging $25, $30 for people to come in,
and there's 100 people in the room, do the math, y'all.
Exactly. You gonna break me off something. I'm
gonna be real too. Nonprofits. There's a wide range of some that like are more grassroots who like really don't necessarily have the allocation for that. And then there are some that there is so much money in nonprofits.
Oh yeah.
Just because they clear that line at the end of the year doesn't mean they don't got money throughout it to
spend. A fact.
So I think some of that, like that's again, I told you, a big mouth bass every time. Like it's kind of switching up that culture. Too, of like, I'm like, man, I want like lawyer culture.
Where it's like
billable hours. You talk to me for 15 minutes, you'll get an invoice.
Right, exactly.
To me, that's like the gold standard of like, billable hours.
Well, then you're going to Atlanta. There's a terrific comedy scene there. I think you're going to find a ton of support.
I think so too, because the difference between when I got to LA and when I go to Atlanta is I didn't have anybody in the comedy scene. So like every friendship that I have or relationship that I've had, I made it organically and I, you know, from scratch, like it's from the beginning, just out here grinding or whatever, as opposed to like, I got people now in Atlanta who are, you know, hitting the scene and I got connections now. So it's going to feel good to already have like a bit of a foundation started already. So
put yourself in intentionally.
Exactly.
Well, I know you're going to kill in Atlanta. I think if anything, I feel like, you know, like when baseball players work out with like the weight on their bats, that was LA. And I feel like you're going to go to Atlanta and you're just going to hit it out of the park.
Okay. I like that.
That's the one and only sports metaphor I'll ever do on this podcast. We're on the other side of it now. Can you drop a beat for me, Zach? Gwen and Heather, thank you so much. Let's get those good plugs out one more time for Middle Ground.
Yeah, so Middle Ground Comedy Festival taking place April 27th through the 30th at Black Circle Brewing. Get your tickets on Eventbrite. We want to thank the sponsors for that. Half Liter and Big Lug, Porch Marketing, Screen Brodery, Worms Are Legal, Robert's Camera, Culinary Crossroads, Hope Plumbing. So many awesome folks helping us out, and we are incredibly grateful for it. Couldn't do it without you.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Asia Chardonay, one more time, where can people find everything you're doing online?
On all social media platforms, everything, but especially YouTube. Check out my YouTube channel. It is All This Body, ALLDISBODY. You'll get a bunch of random clips, but I'm van life stuff, stand-up clips, random rants about whatever. You know, it's a smorgasbord of us.
Sometimes talking trash about like a podcast host who didn't let you in the house.
Oh yeah, that is going on the podcast. I did give a brief update, like, okay, he called me back, y'all. So yeah, I ain't gonna do too bad, but yes, please, if y'all can follow me on social media, All This Body, and I love this. I appreciate you inviting me to this. I really do.
We got Sauce Boss Zach.
You can find me on all social media at Zach_Rome.
Period.
We are doing a pop-up at the end of the month at Goose the Market. We're going to be doing a collaboration with Goose the Market. Our friends at Milkman's Daughter are going to be doing some wonderful cocktails. And Zach and I are going to be using and showcasing a lot of the Smoking Goose product in all of our dishes. It's going to be a great time. I'm very excited. You can come. You don't need a ticket or anything. You just come. You can buy whatever you want. Everything's piecemeal. You can shop in the store. You can have a cocktail. We're going to have some fun stuff going on. So please check that out. Also check out our Patreon, patreon.com/Harder Brunch. If you'd like to support us, and go to Middle Ground Comedy Festival. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.